Travis Burke wiped flour from his calloused hands. The white powder clung to his knuckles like dust from a grinding wheel. His fingers shook slightly, not from fear, from exhaustion, from 3 months of planning this moment. Baking wasn't his thing. Never had been. Engines were his language. Transmissions, brake pads, carburetors, things that made sense when you took them apart. Things that had logical problems with logical solutions. But love required different tools, different skills. Skills he'd never learned growing up in a house where affection came through actions, not words. Where showing up meant more than showing off. The kitchen smelled like vanilla and hope. Every surface covered with measuring cups, mixing bowls, evidence of his amateur attempt at romance. He'd started at noon, 7 hours to create something that professional bakers could finish in 2. But this wasn't about efficiency. This was about effort, about proving that a 45-year-old mechanic could learn new tricks when the stakes mattered. The strawberry vanilla mousse cake sat on the kitchen counter like a monument to his determination. 3 perfect layers, smooth frosting that had taken him 4 attempts to master. He'd watched 17 YouTube videos over the past month, practiced twice when Claire was at her evening yoga classes. 12 years of marriage deserved something special, something personal, something that said, "I see you," in a way that store-bought couldn't match. The diamond earrings sparkled in their black velvet box, 2 carats each, flawless clarity, princess cut. The kind Claire had admired in magazine photos and jewelry store windows during their rare trips to the city. He'd driven to Kansas City on a Saturday morning, 3 hours each way to visit Goldstein & Sons, the jeweler his cousin Frank recommended. "They don't rip you off like the chain stores," Frank had said. "Old school, honest prices." The salesman had been patient, understanding, showed Travis 12 different options, explained cut and clarity and color grades. Terms Travis memorized like engine specifications. "For someone special?" the salesman asked. "My wife, 12 years married this week." Lucky woman. Travis hoped so. Selling his grandfather's tool set had been painful. 47 pieces collected over 6 decades. Snap-on, Craftsman. Tools that had built bridges and fixed generations of broken machines. Tools that had fed 3 families. But tools were just metal. Love required sacrifice. Claire deserved beautiful things. She'd always said so. Usually while scrolling through Instagram, looking at other women's lives, their jewelry, their vacations, their apparent happiness. 3 months of double shifts, skipped lunches, walked the 2 miles to the garage instead of driving to save gas money. Every sacrifice worth it for this moment. "We should travel more," she'd say. "Do more exciting things, like normal couples." Travis never knew what she meant by normal. They had a good life, steady income, nice house. Owen was thriving in school. What more could they want? But tonight would be different. Tonight would be the surprise that reminded her why she'd married a small-town mechanic with grease under his fingernails. His phone buzzed against the counter. Text from his neighbor, Janet. "Everything ready for tonight. Can't wait to surprise her. Should I bring the good wine or regular? Also, Mike wants to know if he should wear a tie. You know how Claire likes everything perfect." Travis smiled despite his nervous energy. Janet had been excited about this for weeks, helped him coordinate with the other guests. Made sure everyone understood the surprise element. "Bring whatever you want. No ties necessary, just come ready to celebrate." He sent similar messages to 3 other key organizers. Karen would arrive early to help with final setup. Monica was bringing flowers from her garden. Sarah from the yoga studio had volunteered to distract Claire if she tried to come home early. 23 people total, Claire's entire social circle. Everyone who mattered in her life gathered to celebrate their marriage. Travis checked his watch again. 5:18 p.m. Claire's Tuesday advanced class officially ended at 5, but she usually stayed late. Talked with students, cleaned equipment, posted social media content, building engagement, she called it. Creating community around the brand being herself. Claire Burke, wellness expert, yoga instructor, lifestyle influencer, inspiring women to live their best lives. Except she never seemed inspired by her own life. Guests would begin arriving at 6:30. Janet and Mike always came early. Karen and Bill would drive straight from Kansas City. Monica lived 3 blocks away. Perfect timing for maximum surprise. Travis had choreographed this like a dance routine. He'd planned everything in secret. Rented round tables from the church. Ordered her favorite wine from 3 different stores to get enough bottles. Even splurged on those cloth napkins she'd pointed out at Target last month. These would be perfect for entertaining, she'd said, touching the expensive fabric. If we ever did anything worth entertaining for. The cake looked professional, maybe better than Henderson's Bakery downtown. The frosting roses were crooked, but the layers were even. The strawberries arranged like his mother used to do for Sunday desserts. He hid the earrings under the pillow on her side of their bed, set the cake in the center of the dining room table, lit the expensive candles she saved for special occasions that never seemed to come. Everything looked perfect, magazine-worthy. The kind of scene Claire posted on her Instagram stories when they visited other people's homes. Goals, she'd caption them. This is how you do it right. Tonight, their home would be goal-worthy. Travis straightened the silverware one more time, checked the wine glasses for spots, adjusted the flower arrangement he'd bought from the grocery store florist. His phone rang, Claire's ringtone, the one she'd set to some meditation bell sound. Hey, beautiful, he answered, the way he had for 12 years. I'm running late. Don't wait up for me. Something cold crept up his spine like engine coolant through a cracked radiator. Wrong pressure, wrong temperature. But tonight, I know what tonight is, Travis. The line went quiet except for background noise. Restaurant sounds, clinking glasses, multiple conversations, adult laughter. Where are you? Does it matter? I'm having dinner. With friends. Claire's voice sounded different. Distant, like she was talking to a customer service representative instead of her husband. Claire, the guests are coming. Janet's bringing... Cancel it. The words hit like a wrench dropped on concrete. Sharp, final, no explanation. What? I said cancel it. I'm not coming home for your little party. Travis sat heavily on the kitchen stool. The same stool where Owen ate cereal before school. Where Claire sorted mail. Where they'd shared coffee and morning conversation for over a decade. The cake suddenly looked ridiculous, childish. Like something a kid would make for Mother's Day. I made your favorite... Travis, stop. Just stop. She sounded irritated now, like he was being unreasonable, like celebrating their anniversary was an inconvenience. We need to talk when I get home. When will that be? I don't know. Late. Very late. The line went dead before he could respond. Travis stared at his phone. The kitchen felt enormous, empty. The candles flickered like they were mocking him. His phone buzzed again. Text message from Claire. He opened it with shaking fingers. Don't wait! I'm at a restaurant! I deserve better! The words burned into his retinas like staring at a welding arc. He read them 5 times. Each time they got worse. I deserve better. Not, we deserve better. Not, our marriage deserves better. I deserve better. As if 12 years meant nothing. As if he meant nothing. The doorbell rang at 6:12 p.m. Travis checked the window. Janet and her husband Mike stood on the porch with a bottle of champagne and matching grins. Behind them, 2 more cars pulled into the driveway. Sarah from the yoga studio, Monica and Lisa from book club. The surprise was working perfectly, for all the wrong reasons. Ready to surprise the birthday girl? Janet grinned when he opened the door. Travis looked past them at the gathering crowd. These people had rearranged their schedules, brought gifts, dressed up for an occasion that no longer existed. She's not coming, he said quietly. What do you mean? Where is she? Emergency at work, family crisis. She asked me to cancel. The lie tasted bitter, but easier than the truth. He spent the next hour and 15 minutes making excuses, apologizing, watching disappointed faces as people processed wasted time and effort and expectation. Monica had driven 40 minutes through construction traffic. Sarah had closed the studio early, losing 2 private session fees. Karen and Bill had taken vacation time and paid for a hotel room. Is everything okay? Karen asked, lingering after the others left. This isn't like Claire. She loves surprises, loves being the center of attention. Work emergency. You know how it is with her business. What kind of emergency? The yoga studio doesn't have emergencies. Travis felt the lies multiplying, building on themselves like rust on metal. Client crisis? Someone having personal problems? Claire's very dedicated to her students. Karen studied his face with the sharp attention of a woman who'd raised 3 daughters. Are you sure? Because if something's wrong between you two... Everything's fine. Just bad timing. Travis, we've known each other for 15 years. You don't lie well. I'm not lying. Then why do you look like someone died? Travis managed a weak smile. Just disappointed. I wanted tonight to be special. Karen hugged him before leaving. Rain check, okay? Claire will love it when you reschedule. But Travis knew there wouldn't be a reschedule. Something fundamental had shifted tonight, something that couldn't be undone with better timing. By 8:15, the house was tomb quiet, 23 RSVPs reduced to 0. The dining room looked like a wedding reception after the bride had run away. Travis cut a slice of cake, sat at the dining table alone. The candles cast dancing shadows on the walls. The wine glasses reflected light like crystal tears. The cake tasted like sawdust and disappointment. He found the earrings still hidden under Claire's pillow, held them up to the lamplight. They caught the illumination and threw tiny rainbows across the ceiling. 2 months of overtime for 30 seconds of sparkle. Travis put them back in their box, locked the box in his toolbox in the garage, next to the socket set his grandfather had given him. Some things were too valuable to leave lying around. Claire didn't come home until morning. He heard her car in the driveway at 6:15 a.m., the soft click of the front door, her heels on the hardwood floor. She moved quietly, carefully, like someone sneaking through a house that wasn't theirs. Travis lay in bed pretending to sleep, listening to her routine. Shower running, hair dryer, closet door opening and closing. By the time he got up, she was in the kitchen making coffee, hair perfectly styled, makeup fresh, wearing clothes he'd never seen before. "We need to talk," she said without looking at him. "About what?" "About us. About what I need. About what's missing." Travis poured coffee into his favorite mug, the one Owen had made him in 7th grade art class, slightly lopsided but functional. "What's missing, Claire?" "Everything." She gestured around the kitchen. "This whole life. It's not enough anymore." What would be enough? More than this, more than small-town routine, more than... She trailed off, studying her phone screen. "More than me," Travis finished. She didn't deny it, didn't even look up. They ate breakfast in silence. Claire scrolled constantly, typing responses to messages, smiling at something, someone. Her phone buzzed every few minutes. Each notification made her face light up like Christmas morning. "I'm going to the studio," she announced, standing abruptly. "What about our talk?" "Later. I have classes all day." She kissed his cheek. A dry, perfunctory peck, the kind you'd give a relative at a funeral. After she left, Travis cleaned up the cake. Most of it went in the garbage. The layers had looked so beautiful yesterday. Now they just looked sad. Wasted effort. Wasted hope. He went to check the mail. Bills mostly. Electric company. Internet. Property tax notice. Then he saw it. A charge on their joint bank statement from a luxury cafe in Milan. Claire had claimed she was at a yoga conference in Denver that weekend. That was the first solid crack in the lie. Travis sat on his front porch steps. Neighbors drove past, heading to work. Mrs. Peterson walking her dog. The mail carrier making his rounds. Normal Tuesday morning in Cedar Falls. Population 12,000. Where everyone knew everyone and secrets were impossible to keep. Except this one. The man in the photo wasn't from Cedar Falls, wasn't from anywhere Travis recognized. His world had shifted. Everything looked the same, but felt different, like discovering your house was built on quicksand. Travis studied the photo again. The way Claire looked at the stranger, the same way she used to look at him. Before routine set in, before familiarity bred contempt, before she decided she deserved better. Travis didn't confront Claire about the photograph. Confrontation required evidence, complete understanding, strategic planning. Instead, he became a detective in his own home, watching, listening, documenting patterns like troubleshooting a complex engine problem. Something was broken in his marriage. You gathered data before attempting repairs. You understood the problem before proposing solutions. Claire's behavior had changed gradually. So gradually, he'd missed the early warning signs, like a slow oil leak that doesn't show symptoms until the engine seizes completely. 3 months ago, she'd started working late. "Building the business," she explained. "Yoga instruction doesn't pay enough. We need multiple revenue streams." 2 months ago, she'd become secretive with her phone, changed her passcode from Owen's birthday, 0814, to something else. Took calls in the garage, claimed they were business-related or student consultations. 6 weeks ago, she'd started dressing differently. New clothes appearing in her closet, expensive brands he didn't recognize. When asked, she claimed they were gifts from grateful clients or investments in professional image. 1 month ago, the overnight trips began, weekend workshops in cities he'd never heard of, professional development seminars, networking events with industry leaders. "I'm building connections," she explained, "creating opportunities for advancement." But advancement to what? Yoga instruction in Cedar Falls had a natural ceiling. The market couldn't support more than 3 or 4 full-time instructors. Travis started keeping a log. Engineer's notebook from his toolbox. Times, dates, explanations, cross-referenced with their bank statements and credit card bills. The patterns emerged quickly. Hotel charges in cities different from where she claimed to be. Restaurant bills for 2 people when she supposedly traveled alone. Rental car expenses when conferences supposedly provided transportation. Claire was living a parallel life. Someone else's life. Someone who traveled freely and spent money without consequence. The family iPad sat on the kitchen counter where it always had. Claire used it for recipes and streaming videos while cooking. Owen used it for homework research. She'd forgotten it was synced to her iCloud account. All her messages, photos, email, everything automatically backed up and shared across devices. Travis felt dirty looking, like reading someone's diary. But the photograph had changed the rules, made privacy secondary to truth. He waited until she left for her evening class. Owen was at baseball practice, the house empty and quiet. Travis opened WhatsApp on the iPad. Contact name, Gabriel. Hundreds of messages going back 3 months. Right around the time Claire started working late, right around the time she stopped laughing at his jokes. Gabriel. My darling Claire. Another day hiding from them. I dream of your beautiful face when I close my eyes. Claire. I dream of you too. Travis doesn't see me anymore. Not really. I'm invisible in my own life. Gabriel. You're the most visible thing in my world. When this operation ends, when I'm safe, we'll never be apart again. Claire. How much longer? I hate living this lie. Gabriel. The extraction requires funds, Swiss accounts, untraceable transfers. My superiors are arranging everything. Travis scrolled faster, his heart hammering against his ribs like a piston with bad timing. Claire. I sent the first payment, $15,000 from my aunt's inheritance. Is that enough? Gabriel. You're saving my life, Angel. But they're closing in faster than expected. I need another $25,000 for safe passage documents. Claire. That's everything I have in savings. Gabriel. I know it's a sacrifice, but once I'm safe, we'll have forever. Think of our future together. Claire. I'll find a way. I always do. The messages continued for pages. Gabriel claimed to be an ex-intelligence officer, said he'd exposed government corruption in Eastern Europe, was hiding from assassins sent by powerful people, needed money for fake passports, safe houses, bribes to border guards, emergency flights to secure locations. Claire believed every word, sent money, asked for more details, planned their future together. Travis felt sick, like food poisoning, like carbon monoxide exposure. He checked their bank statements on Claire's laptop. Her accounts were nearly empty. $40,000 transferred to something called International Security Solutions in Switzerland. Another $15,000 to Document Services looted in the Cayman Islands. She'd liquidated her aunt's inheritance. The money earmarked for Owen's college? Gone. Gabriel sent her photographs as proof of his situation. Luxury hotels, first-class airplane seats, expensive restaurants. Maintaining cover, he explained. Looking like a wealthy businessman while I gather intelligence. Travis recognized the contradiction immediately. A man hiding from assassins doesn't post photos online, doesn't use traceable payment methods, doesn't communicate through unsecured messaging apps, but Claire saw romance, adventure, escape from small-town monotony. Travis Googled Gabriel Intelligence Officer Romance Scam. 847 results in 0.23 seconds. The FBI website. Better Business Bureau warnings. Sufferer support forums. News articles about international fraud rings. Romance scams cost Americans $547 million annually. Lonely people targeted through social media. Elaborate stories about military deployment, overseas business, family emergencies. Always the same pattern. Initial contact, romantic buildup, crisis requiring money, escalating requests, eventual disappearance. Travis found a sufferer support forum called Love and Lies, women sharing stories, warning signs, recovery advice. One post caught his attention. Username, Patricia_Dallas. Lost $200,000 to a man calling himself Gabriel Martinez. Said he was an undercover agent. Same story everyone else gets. Different name, same face, same urgent need for escape funds. She'd posted screenshots. Same profile photos Travis recognized from Claire's messages. Same romantic language. Same crisis timeline. He disappeared after I sent the final payment. Found out later he was courting 3 other women simultaneously. We all thought we were his only love. Travis created an anonymous account. Messaged Patricia directly. Is this the man who scammed you? He attached Gabriel's photo from Claire's WhatsApp. Patricia responded within 2 hours. Oh my God, that's him. Different name but same face, same lies. Is he targeting someone you know? My wife. Jesus. How much has she sent? $55,000 that I know of. It gets worse, always gets worse. He'll ask for more money. There's always one more emergency. One more payment for final safety. They never stop until the money runs out. Travis read dozens of sufferer stories over the next week. The pattern was identical across continents. Lonely women, unfulfilled marriages, men offering escape, adventure, romance they felt missing from their lives. Then the requests began. Small amounts at first, just until my accounts unfreeze. Then larger. Emergency medical bills, legal fees, travel expenses. Always urgent, always life or end, always the last payment needed. His phone buzzed. Text from Claire. Working late at the studio again. Don't wait up. Love you. The love you felt like salt in a wound. Travis checked her WhatsApp messages. Claire. I miss you so much. Travis is getting suspicious, asking questions about my schedule. Gabriel. Soon, my darling, very soon. One more transfer and I'll be completely free. Then we disappear together. New identities. New life. Claire. How much this time? Gabriel. $75,000. I know it's a lot, but it's the final payment. After this, we're safe forever. Claire. I don't have that much. I've given you everything. Gabriel. Use the house. Take a loan. Use whatever collateral necessary. They're closing in. This is our last chance. Claire. The house is in both our names. Travis would have to sign. Gabriel. Find a way. Forge his signature if necessary. Our love is worth any risk. Travis stared at the screen. Claire was planning to mortgage their home, Owen's security, everything they'd built over 12 years, for a fantasy. He drove to First National Bank the next morning, spoke with their loan officer, Jessica Hartwell. Claire submitted a home equity application yesterday, Jessica confirmed, pulling up the file. Listed home improvements as the purpose. How much? $75,000. With her credit score and your combined income, approval is highly likely. Travis felt sick. Can you delay processing? Only if there's suspicious activity or fraud concerns, is there? Travis considered telling Jessica everything. The scam, the fake identity, the international fraud. But Claire would find out. Might run. Might take Owen. Just want to review the details with her first, he said. Make sure we're both on the same page. Of course. We'll hold the application for 72 hours. Travis needed a plan. Something careful. Something that protected Owen while exposing the truth. That evening, Claire seemed excited. Nervous energy, humming while she cooked dinner, checking her phone every 30 seconds. Good day at the studio? Travis asked. Very good. Big changes coming. Life-changing opportunities. What kind of opportunities? She smiled mysteriously. You'll see. Everything's about to be different. After Owen finished homework and went to bed, Claire showered. Came out wearing her best dress. The red one from their anniversary dinner 3 years ago. She spent an hour on her makeup, hair, perfume he didn't recognize. Where are you going? Travis asked. Book club meeting. New member joining tonight. Might run late. Travis knew there was no book club meeting. He'd called Janet earlier under the pretense of borrowing a ladder. No meeting scheduled this week. Drive safe, he said. Always do. After Claire left, Travis opened her laptop again. New messages from Gabriel. Gabriel. Airport Hotel. Room 247. Can't wait to hold you in my arms again. Claire. Almost there. This feels crazy. Exciting, but crazy. Gabriel. Love is supposed to feel crazy, darling. After tonight, we plan our escape together. Travis felt his hands clench into fists. Gabriel was here, in Cedar Falls, but that was impossible. Every photo showed him in Europe, Switzerland, Italy, France. Unless the photos were fake. Stock images. stolen from someone else's social media. Travis Googled budget inn Cedar Falls. Only one result. The place truckers stayed. Basic rooms. Hourly rates available. He grabbed his keys and wallet. The budget inn parking lot was mostly empty. 18-wheelers, a few beat-up cars, Claire's silver Toyota Camry in the back corner. Travis parked across the street behind a billboard advertising personal injury lawyers. At 9:47 p.m., Claire emerged from the lobby, alone, walking quickly toward her car. No European gentleman, no Gabriel, no romantic reunion. She sat in her car for 20 minutes, made phone calls. Travis could see her gesturing frantically but couldn't hear words. Finally, she drove home. Travis was already in bed, pretending to sleep when she crept inside at 11:30. She cried in the bathroom. Quiet sobs through the door, the sound of someone whose world had just collapsed. The next morning, Travis checked her messages while she showered. Claire, where were you? I waited for 3 hours. The desk clerk said nobody named Gabriel checked in. Gabriel. Emergency extraction. Had to leave immediately. They found our location. Barely escaped with my life. Claire. This is insane. I need to see you. I need proof you're real. Gabriel. The wire transfer cleared just in time. I'm safe now in a secure location, heading to the final safe house. Claire. What about us? What about our plan? Gabriel. Patience, my love. One more week. One final payment for new identity documents. Then I come for you. Forever this time. Travis understood now. Gabriel had never been in Cedar Falls, never intended to meet Claire. The hotel meeting was a test to see how far she'd go, how much she'd believe. She'd passed with flying colors. Now he'd ask for more money, and she'd send it, because the alternative was admitting she'd been played. Travis needed to end this, but carefully, surgically, with proof that couldn't be denied. Travis called in sick Friday morning. First time in 3 years, told his supervisor he had family emergency. Technically true. The drive to St. Louis took 3 hours and 47 minutes. Interstate 70 through Missouri farmland. Time to think, plan, prepare for what came next. He'd found Letty Shaw through the Sufferer Support Forum after spending 2 weeks reading sufferer testimonials. Her profile was professional, detailed. Former FBI agent specializing in international fraud. 23 years federal law enforcement. Private practice for 5 years. I hunt hunters, her website stated. Romance scammers, identity thieves, international criminal networks. I find them, document them, expose them. Her client testimonials were impressive. Recovered assets, exposed scam networks, helped prosecute international criminals. Letty saved my life, wrote a woman from Phoenix. Lost $300,000 to a fake military officer. She tracked him down and helped me recover 60% of my money. Professional, thorough, results-oriented, wrote another client. Worth every penny. Travis had called Tuesday evening, explained his situation briefly. Letty had listened without interruption. Bring everything, she'd said. Screenshots, bank records, phone numbers, email addresses, dating profiles, financial documentation. The more data, the better the outcome. Her office was in Clayton, Missouri, upscale suburb of St. Louis. Professional building with marble lobby and expensive art. Letty Shaw looked exactly like her website photo. Mid-50s. Gray hair and a professional cut. Sharp eyes that missed nothing. The bearing of someone accustomed to authority. Mr. Burke, she said, shaking hands firmly. I'm sorry about your situation. Romance fraud destroys families. But you did the right thing, calling me. Her office was small but efficient. Walls covered with photographs connected by colored string. Maps marked with pins. Computer monitors displaying financial databases. A conspiracy board for the digital age. Bring everything, she'd said on the phone. Screenshots, bank records, phone numbers, email addresses. The more data, the better. Travis spread the evidence across her desk. Months of messages printed on 47 pages, financial records, Gabriel's photos, Claire's travel receipts. Letty studied everything for 2 hours, taking notes, cross-referencing databases, running facial recognition software. Your guy's real name is Edouard Renault, she finally said. French citizen, age 43. Been running romance scams for 8 years across 4 continents. She pulled up a file on her computer. Same face as Gabriel. Different names in different countries. Miguel Santos in Spain. Alessandro Romano in Italy. Gabriel Martinez in the US. James Wright in Australia. Same person, same basic operation. Where is he now? Milan, according to latest intelligence. Living well off sufferer funds. Currently targeting a wealthy widow from Frankfurt. Same pattern as your wife. Letty showed Travis more photos, Edouard with different women in different cities, same poses, same romantic gestures, like following a script. He runs what we call a carousel scam. Each new sufferer's money funds the courtship of the next, creates a sustainable income stream while maintaining multiple relationships. How much has he stolen? Conservatively, 2.7 million over the past 4 years, from 63 known sufferers across 12 countries. Travis felt sick. Claire was just a number, a revenue stream. Can you stop him? I can expose him, document everything, build an airtight case. But international prosecution is complicated. Different jurisdictions, different laws. What about my wife? That's the real challenge. She's participating willingly. Until she realizes she's been conned, she's technically not a sufferer under U.S. law. Letty leaned back in her chair. How far are you willing to go to save your marriage? I don't know if the marriage can be saved, but I want to save my son's future, our assets, her from herself. Then we destroy the fantasy, make her see the truth, force her to confront reality. Travis nodded. What do you need? Time, money, complete access to her communications, and your word that you won't interfere with my methods. How much time? 2 weeks, maybe 3. I need to trace his current activities, document his other sufferers, build a dossier that's impossible to deny. How much money? 5,000 plus expenses. Travis thought about the diamond earrings in his toolbox. 2 months of overtime for 30 seconds of sparkle. This was a better investment. Do it. Letty worked like a detective, cross-referencing social media accounts, tracking financial transactions, interviewing other sufferers. The pattern became clear quickly. Edouard Renault was a professional hunter. He studied targets through their online presence, learned their vulnerabilities, crafted personas specifically designed to appeal to their emotional needs. Claire had posted about feeling invisible, unappreciated, desperate for adventure. Gabriel offered visibility, appreciation, danger, perfectly calibrated psychological manipulation. Letty found 17 other active sufferers, women from 6 countries sending money to the same network of shell companies. Current total monthly income, approximately $200,000, she reported. He's running this like a business. Customer acquisition, revenue optimization, churn management. Churn management? When one sufferer runs out of money, he phases her out gradually, maintains contact just enough to prevent revenge, but focuses resources on newer, wealthier targets. The dossier Letty compiled was devastating. Bank records showing money flow, photo comparisons proving identity theft, sufferer testimonies describing identical approaches. Most damning were the recent photos from Milan. Edouard with a blonde woman named Ingrid. Same romantic poses he'd used with Claire. Same messages word for word. He's not even creative, Letty noted. Same script for everyone. Same timeline. Same crisis scenarios. The report was 47 pages of forensic evidence. Professional quality. Courtroom ready. The man your wife thinks she loves doesn't exist, Letty concluded. Edouard Renault is a professional hunter who will never stop asking for money. He will never meet her. He will disappear the moment her funds are exhausted. Travis burned the report to a USB drive. Added password protection. No identifying information linking back to him. Saturday evening, while Claire showered after her advanced instructor certification, Travis slipped the USB into her purse, hidden in the small pocket where she kept lip balm. Then he waited. Monday morning, Claire seemed distracted, kept checking her purse, looking confused. Everything all right? Travis asked over coffee. Someone put something in my bag. What kind of something? She showed him the USB drive, black, unmarked, professional looking. This wasn't here yesterday. I'm sure of it. Travis shrugged. Maybe from the studio, student project, instructional videos? Maybe. She looked uncertain. But I don't remember anyone giving me anything. Only one way to find out. Claire plugged the USB into her laptop at the kitchen table. Travis pretended to read the sports section, watched her face from the corner of his eye. At first, confusion, clicking through files, reading headers, then recognition. Her face went white. What the? She scrolled through page after page, photos of Gabriel with other women, bank records showing stolen money, police reports from multiple countries. Her hands started shaking. No, she whispered. No, 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 this isn't real. She grabbed her phone, dialed with trembling fingers. Gabriel, Gabriel, answer me. We need to talk right now. The call went straight to voicemail. Generic message. No personal greeting. She tried WhatsApp. This account does not exist. Email. User unknown. Instagram. Profile not found. Every trace of Gabriel had vanished overnight. Claire's breathing became rapid, shallow. Signs of panic attack. This isn't real, she said louder. This can't be real. Someone's lying. Someone's trying to destroy us. Travis set down his newspaper. What's wrong? She looked at him with wild eyes. Did you do this? Did you hire someone to spy on me? Do what? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me, Travis. Did you create this fake evidence? Did you pay someone to destroy my relationship? Travis kept his voice calm, level. What relationship? You know exactly what relationship. I know you've been having an affair. I know you've been lying about where you go. I know you've been taking money from our accounts. The words hit like physical blows. Claire staggered backward. It wasn't an affair. It was love. Real love. With who? A ghost? A fantasy? With Gabriel. He's real. He loves me. Where is he now? Claire had no answer. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Gabriel, she answered desperately. But it wasn't Gabriel. It was a reporter from scamalert.org. Miss Burke, this is Jennifer Walsh from Scamalert. I understand you may have been a sufferer of Edouard Renault. Would you like to comment for our article about his latest activities? Claire hung up immediately, stared at Travis. How does a reporter know my name? How do they know about Gabriel? Travis said nothing. The next call was from their bank. Jessica Hartwell. Mrs. Burke, we need to discuss your equity application immediately. There's been some unusual activity flagged by our fraud department. Claire's world was collapsing in real time. The fantasy dissolving like sugar in rain. She tried calling Gabriel's emergency number. Disconnected. The Swiss bank account Gabriel had given her. Frozen by international authorities. Every avenue leading to him had been cut off. That evening, she found Travis in the garage, working on the old Harley Sportster he'd bought years ago. Engine parts spread across his workbench. Peaceful. Methodical. We need to talk, she said. About what? About what I've done. About Gabriel. About everything. Travis wiped grease from his hands with a red shop rag. Who's Gabriel? Don't play dumb. You know exactly who he is. You destroyed him. I know you've been having an affair. I know you've been stealing money from our family. I know you've been planning to leave. The words hung in the air like exhaust fumes. It wasn't stealing, it was investing in our future. What future? With a man who doesn't exist? He exists. I've talked to him. I've seen his photos. You've talked to a criminal. You've seen stolen photos. That's not true, Travis laughed bitterly. 47 pages of evidence say otherwise. You hired that investigator, didn't you? You paid someone to create lies about Gabriel? I protected my family from a hunter. He loved me. He loved your money. You don't understand. We had something special. He saw me. Really saw me. He saw a target. That's not true. What we had was real. Travis looked up from the motorcycle. His eyes were different now, colder, more distant. 46 other women thought the same thing. Claire's face went white. 46? Current sufferers, not counting the ones he's already discarded. You're lying. Check the USB, page 37. He sent you the same love poems he sent to Patricia in Dallas. Word for word, same timeline, same promises. Claire ran back to the house. Travis heard her sobbing through the garage wall, but he felt nothing. The grief had burned itself out months ago. Now there was only cold calculation. Their marriage was over. Had been over since the first wire transfer. Now came the legal consequences. The divorce papers arrived Thursday morning at 7:43 a.m., hand-delivered by a process server named William McCarthy, who looked embarrassed about the early hour. Mrs. Claire Burke? He asked when she answered the door in her bathrobe. Yes? You've been served. He handed her the thick manila envelope and walked quickly back to his sedan. Claire signed for the documents with shaking hands. Read the cover letter twice before opening the legal papers. Petition for dissolution of marriage, filed in Buchanan County Circuit Court, State of Missouri. Cause number 24-4857. Travis Michael Burke, petitioner. Claire Staples Burke, respondent. The language was formal, cold, legal terminology that reduced 12 years of marriage to numbered paragraphs in financial schedules. Wherefore, petitioner requests this court to A. Grant a decree of dissolution of marriage. B. Award petitioner sole legal and physical custody of the minor child. C. Order respondent to pay child support according to Missouri guidelines. D. Divide marital property according to equitable distribution principles. E. Freeze all joint financial accounts pending litigation. F. Order forensic accounting of all marital assets. G. Award petitioner attorney fees and court costs. Claire read each paragraph 3 times. The words swam together like alphabet soup. Attached were financial affidavits, bank statements, credit card bills, documentation of every wire transfer she'd made to Gabriel, evidence of her betrayal reduced to spreadsheets and transaction records. "You can't do this," she said when Travis came home from work that evening. He was carrying his lunch cooler and thermos. Same routine for 12 years. Except everything else had changed. "I already did. Owen is my son too. You can't just take him away. Owen needs stability, parents who make rational decisions. You gambled away his college fund for a fantasy. I was trying to build a better life for all of us." By running away with a stranger? Claire had no answer for that. The USB evidence made denial impossible. The phone rang, their bank again. "Both Mr. and Mrs. Burke need to come in immediately," Jessica said. "The home equity loan is under federal investigation." At the bank, they learned the full scope of Claire's deception. "She listed home improvements as the loan purpose," Jessica explained to Travis. "But we've discovered the funds were wired overseas within hours of approval, to accounts connected to known money laundering operations." Money laundering? "The FBI has been notified. This could result in criminal charges." Claire's face went chalk white. Criminal charges for what? Bank fraud, wire fraud, potentially money laundering if you were aware of the recipient's illegal activities. "I didn't know. I thought I was helping someone I loved." Jessica consulted her notes. "Mrs. Burke, you sent $75,000 to an account registered to International Security Solutions in the Cayman Islands. That company doesn't exist. The account was created specifically to receive your transfer. Gabriel needed the money for safety. There is no Gabriel, ma'am. FBI records show this account received transfers from 47 different women across 12 countries. Total amount exceeds $2 million. The implications sank in slowly. Claire wasn't just a sufferer. She was part of the distribution network. FBI agent Sarah Chen interviewed Claire 3 days later. Professional but thorough. Chinese-American, mid-40s, 20 years experience with financial crimes. "When did you first send money to this individual?" Agent Chen asked. 3 months ago? Maybe 4. "What reason did he give for needing funds?" "He said he was in danger, that corrupt officials were trying to damage him for exposing government secrets." "Did you believe this explanation?" "Yes, completely." "Even when he asked for larger amounts?" Claire hesitated. I wanted to believe it." "Mrs. Burke, you sent $55,000 in the first 2 months, then attempted to secure a $75,000 home equity loan. That requires significant planning, multiple trips to the bank, legal documents. Did you never question the legitimacy of these requests?" "I was in love." Agent Chen's expression didn't change. "Love doesn't excuse bank fraud, Mrs. Burke." The investigation revealed that Claire's accounts had been used as more than just a funding source. Money from Gabriel had flowed through her accounts to other sufferers, creating a circular laundering pattern. "You weren't just a sufferer," Agent Chen explained. "Your bank account helped facilitate the theft from other women." Claire broke down completely. "I didn't know. I just did what Gabriel asked." "Gabriel is Edouard Renault, a known international fraudster. Your bank account helped him steal from dozens of other women." The legal implications were staggering. Federal charges carried prison time. Civil suits from other sufferers would destroy her financially. Asset forfeiture could claim everything she owned. Travis felt no satisfaction watching her world collapse, only sadness for the woman she used to be. Owen took the news quietly. At 14, he understood more than adults realized. "Are you and Mom getting divorced?" he asked over dinner at Applebee's. "Yes. Because of the money she stole? Because of the lies?" Owen nodded thoughtfully. "I heard her talking to him, on the phone. Late at night, when she thought I was asleep." "What did you hear?" "She said she loved him more than us, that we were holding her back from her real life." Travis's heart broke a little more. She didn't mean it. Yes, she did. She meant every word. The custody hearing was scheduled for December 15th. Travis hired Rebecca Morrison, the best family attorney in 3 counties, former prosecutor, 28 years experience, ruthless reputation. Claire couldn't afford representation. The FBI had frozen her assets pending the federal investigation. She qualified for a public defender. Overworked, underprepared, handling 40 cases simultaneously. Your Honor, Rebecca argued at the preliminary hearing. Mrs. Burke participated in a complex international fraud scheme. She endangered her family's financial security. She mortgaged their home without her husband's knowledge. She attempted to flee the country with a known criminal. I never tried to flee, Claire protested. Rebecca pulled out airline confirmations. United Airlines, Chicago to Geneva, departure date December 20th. One-way ticket purchased 3 days before the fraud was exposed. Claire's public defender looked surprised. Your Honor, I wasn't aware. Because your client didn't tell you, Rebecca continued. She's been planning her escape for months. The judge reviewed everything. Bank statements, FBI reports, text messages between Claire and Edouard. Mrs. Burke, your actions demonstrate a complete disregard for your family's welfare. You liquidated your son's college fund. You mortgaged the family home under false pretenses. You participated in an international money laundering scheme. I was manipulated, Your Honor. I was a sufferer. You were an adult who chose to wire money to foreign accounts multiple times, despite obvious warning signs. The custody decision was swift and final. Travis received primary physical custody. Claire got supervised visitation every other weekend. The family home would be sold to pay debts and legal fees. Owen would live with Travis in a rental house. Claire's inheritance was gone forever. Her car repossessed, her credit rating destroyed. As they left the courthouse, Claire grabbed Travis's arm. Please, can we talk? Just 5 minutes? I know I made mistakes, but... Travis looked at her. This woman he'd loved for 12 years, who'd shared his bed, his dreams, his life, who'd thrown it all away for a stranger's lies. We talked for 12 years, he said quietly. You weren't listening. He walked away. Claire stood alone on the courthouse steps. December wind cutting through her discount store coat. Everything gone. Everyone gone. The price of believing lies. The scam awareness blog found Claire's story in January. Scamalert.org ran a devastating expose. How one woman funded a scammer's European vacation, read the headline. The article contained everything. Screenshots of messages, timeline of payments, photos of Edouard with multiple sufferers. Claire's face featured prominently, not identified by name due to legal restrictions, but recognizable to anyone who knew her. The story went viral within hours, shared across social media platforms, featured on morning television shows. Comments ranged from sympathetic to brutal. This is why women can't be trusted with money. How stupid can you be? Red flags everywhere. These sufferers deserve what they get. Natural selection. My ex-wife did the same thing. Cost me everything. This is what happens when people watch too many romance movies. Claire's remaining friends distanced themselves. The yoga studio terminated her contract. Former coworkers blocked her on social media. She became radioactive, untouchable. Janet, her former neighbor, saw her at the grocery store, turned and walked the other way. Monica from book club crossed the street to avoid conversation. Sarah from the yoga studio posted on Facebook, "So glad we found out what kind of person she really was." The FBI investigation concluded in February. Claire pled guilty to wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Sentenced to 2 years federal probation, 500 hours community service, $50,000 in restitution to other sufferers. The civil suits were worse. Patricia from Dallas won a $75,000 judgment. Ingrid from Frankfurt sued for $125,000. Others followed. Claire's public defender filed for bankruptcy. Complete liquidation. Everything gone except the clothes on her back. She moved in with her parents in rural Missouri. 67-year-old retirees living on Social Security and pensions. No room for her drama. Claire got a job at Walmart, cashier, $12.50 per hour, standing 8 hours a day, scanning barcodes and forcing smiles. Her yoga certification expired. Her social media following disappeared. Her influencer dreams died. Travis never responded to her letters. Her emails went unanswered. His lawyer had advised complete no contact, except for Owen's supervised visits. Owen visited once a month, court mandated. He was polite but distant. "How's school?" she'd ask. "Fine." "Any girlfriends yet?" "No." "How's your father?" "Good." Does he ever mention me?" "No." Conversations lasted exactly the required 90 minutes. No more. Claire tried rebuilding, attended therapy sessions she couldn't afford, joined support groups for scam sufferers, volunteered at the library. But Cedar Falls was a small town. Everyone knew her story. Everyone remembered the headlines. She'd become a cautionary tale, a warning parents gave their daughters. In March, Claire drove to Travis's rental house, a modest 3-bedroom near Owen's school. Clean, practical, stable. She knocked on the door. Spring rain soaked her hair. Travis answered. He looked older, but healthier, calmer, more at peace. "What do you want, Claire? Can we talk, please, just for a few minutes?" He considered this. About what? About forgiveness. About second chances. About the 12 good years we had. 12 years? We had good times, Travis. We loved each other. That has to count for something. Travis leaned against the doorframe. You mortgaged our son's future for a stranger's lies. I made a mistake. A huge, terrible mistake. But people can change. People can learn. Some mistakes are permanent. Don't you believe in redemption, in forgiveness? Travis looked past her to the street. Quiet neighborhood, normal families, normal problems. I forgave you months ago, he said. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Why not? Because trust, once broken, stays broken, like a cracked engine block. You can weld it, but it's never the same. We could try counseling, therapy, whatever it takes. There's nothing to fix, Claire. We're not broken. We're finished. Travis, please. I have nothing left. No money, no friends, no future. You and Owen are all I have. You should have thought about that before. I was lonely. I was invisible. You never saw me anymore. I baked you a cake. The words hung in the rain-soaked air. Simple, final, devastating. One cake doesn't make up for years of neglect. And one affair doesn't erase 12 years of marriage. They stared at each other, water dripping from the porch roof, the sound of a world washing away. I loved you, Claire said quietly. I know. Do you still? Travis was quiet for a long moment. I love the woman I married, but she's gone. I'm still here. No, you're not. The Claire I married wouldn't have done this. The Claire I married wouldn't have gambled away her son's future. The Claire I married wouldn't have chosen a stranger over her family. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. A series of choices. Every wire transfer. Every lie. Every secret meeting. Claire started crying. Please, I'll do anything. I'll spend the rest of my life making this right. Some things can't be made right. Don't you believe in second chances? Travis looked at her, rain-soaked, desperate, broken. I gave you 12 years of chances, he said. You used them all. Travis, goodbye, Claire. He closed the door quietly but firmly. Claire stood on the porch for 15 minutes, rain soaking through her coat, through her skin, through her soul. Finally, she walked back to her rusted Toyota, engine coughing like an old man's lungs. Travis watched from the kitchen window, felt nothing but emptiness. Inside, Owen was doing algebra homework at the kitchen table. Was that Mom? He asked without looking up. Yes. What did she want? To come home. Are you going to let her? No. Good. Travis made dinner, grilled cheese and tomato soup. They ate in comfortable silence. After Owen went to bed, Travis went to the garage. The 1978 Harley Sportster was finally finished. 18 months of evenings and weekends. Engine rebuilt, chrome polished, leather seat restored. Something beautiful created from something broken. He found the velvet box in his toolbox. The diamond earrings. Still perfect after all these months of waiting. Travis opened Owen's bedroom door quietly. His son was asleep. Textbooks scattered across the desk. Honor roll certificates on the wall. He set the box on the nightstand with a note written on garage stationery. Son, one day you'll meet someone who deserves these. Someone who will appreciate the gesture. Someone who will never make you eat cake alone. Someone who will choose you over strangers. Dad. Saturday morning, Travis and Owen loaded camping gear onto the motorcycle. The Harley Sportster gleamed in the morning sun. 18 months of evening restoration work complete. Where are we going? Owen asked, adjusting his helmet. New leather jacket, matching boots, father-son riding gear. Nowhere special, everywhere important. What's the difference? Special places have expectations. Important places just matter. They rode out of Cedar Falls at sunrise, past the house where they used to live, past Claire's former yoga studio, past the bank where she'd mortgaged their future, into the Missouri countryside. Open roads stretching ahead like possibility, like redemption, like freedom from the past. Travis felt the wind on his face. 65 miles per hour of pure liberation, the weight of 12 years lifting like morning fog. Owen's arms wrapped around his waist, trusting, secure, the future riding behind him, the next generation getting a second chance. They had everything they needed, each other, truth, the open road, time to rebuild what had been broken. The motorcycle's engine hummed with mechanical precision, every component working in harmony, the way relationships should work, the way life should flow. At a gas station 50 miles out, Travis's phone buzzed in his jacket pocket. Text message from an unknown number. He didn't check it until they stopped for lunch at a roadside diner. Red vinyl booths, coffee that could dissolve metal, hamburgers the size of dinner plates. Message from Claire. I'll wait for you. However long it takes, I'll be better, I promise. I'll prove I can change. We can start over, we can rebuild. Please don't give up on us. Travis showed the message to Owen. What do you think? Owen read it twice, chewed his French fries thoughtfully. I think some promises come too late. Smart kid. I get it from my dad. Travis deleted the message, turned off the phone. Some conversations were finished. Some doors stayed closed once you walked through them. They ordered pie for dessert, apple with vanilla ice cream, talked about the future, college plans, career goals, normal things that mattered, things uncontaminated by lies and betrayal. The waitress refilled their coffee. You two look alike, she said. Father and son? Best friends, Travis corrected. She smiled. Even better, that's the way it should be. They rode until sunset, made camp by a lake that reflected the sky like a mirror, built a fire with dry wood, cooked beans from a can, fried bacon on a camping skillet, simple food, simple pleasures, simple truths. Dad? Yeah? Are you happy now? I mean, really happy? Travis looked at his son. 14 years old, good kid, honest, loyal, everything his mother had abandoned for lies and fantasies. I'm getting there. How about you? Me too. It's weird. I thought I'd be sadder about Mom, but mostly I feel relieved. Relieved? Yeah, like we don't have to pretend anymore. We don't have to act like everything's normal when it wasn't. Travis nodded. Sometimes ending something broken is the only way to start something healthy. Is that why you divorced her? To start over. I divorced her to protect us. Starting over is just a bonus. They sat by the fire until stars came out, talking about tomorrow, next week, next year, plans that didn't include deception or financial fraud or international criminals. The motorcycle gleamed in the firelight, ready for whatever came next, ready for adventures that didn't cost fortunes or destroy families. Travis had lost a wife, gained his integrity back, gained his son's respect, gained the possibility of genuine happiness. The trade seemed fair, more than fair. In the distance, an owl called, wild, free, unencumbered by the wrong choices of others. Travis smiled for the first time in months. Real contentment, earned peace. The past was behind them. The road ahead stretched endlessly. They had time. They had each other. They had truth. They had hope. It was enough, more than enough. Somewhere in rural Missouri, a broken woman listened to voicemail that would never be returned. I know you won't listen to this, but I need you to know I understand what I lost. I understand what I destroyed. I would give anything to take it back. Anything to earn forgiveness. I love you, Travis. I love you both. I always will. Even if you never love me again. The machine clicked off. Silence returned to an empty apartment. Miles away, a motorcycle engine hummed through the night, carrying father and son toward tomorrow, toward healing, toward the life they deserved, leaving the wreckage behind where it belonged, in the past, where broken things stay broken, where lies remain exposed, where justice, though delayed, finally arrives. The price of betrayal paid in full.